We just had an item that we missed. It was a late item, which we'll deal with now before we go through the confidential for those that are new to the room. Yeah, okay. So this is with regard to the Hunter Joint Organisation Board and regional motions for the 2025 National General Assembly of Local Government. The recommendation is that Council endorse the regional motions identified by the Hunter JO Board and their lodgement to the 2025 National General Assembly of Local Government, and 2, to endorse lodging motions to the National General Assembly on behalf of the Hunter Joint Organisation member councils by the closing date of 31st of March 2025. Can I have move Councillor McGill, second Councillor Shields. Questions or comments? There are none. So those in favour? Aye. That's unanimous. Thank you. I'll now hand over to General Manager for the results of the closed council.
Thanks, Mr. Deputy Mayor. In regard to confidential item 2.1, the tender 02 of 2025 preferred suppliers supply of services, Council resolved 1, to accept the following tender list for the supply of services for a 24-month period from 24th of February 2025 to 22nd of February 2027, and that list will be attached to the minutes of this meeting. And part 2 of that resolution was that based on satisfactory supply of these services, provide an extension for a further period to 30th of June 2027 to align with future financial year tender periods. In regard to item CR 2.2, tender 03 of 2025, preferred suppliers, hire of plant, Council resolved 1, to accept the following tender list for the hire of plant for a 24-month period from 24th of February 2025 to 22nd of February 2027, and attach a list of successful suppliers there. And point 2 of that resolution was based on satisfactory supply of the hire of plant, provide an extension for a further period to 30th of June 2027 to align with future financial year tender periods. In regard to item CR 2.3, tender number 8 of 2024 White Park Roof Extension, tender evaluation report, Council resolved 1, to accept tender number 8 2024 from Williams River Steel Proprietary Limited for the White Park Roof Extension for a total lump sum of $868,977 inclusive of GST. 2, to provide delegated authority to the General Manager to approve variations up to 10% above contract value. And 3, to provide delegated authority to the General Manager to conduct all relevant functions under a contract. In regard to item CR 2.4, unauthorised use of land, 45 Salisbury Street, Blandford, Council resolved to note the advice in attachment 1 of the report and defer subject to further advice. Item 2.5, tender number 5 of 2025 financial year 25 sewer relining tender evaluation. Council resolved 1, allocate $318,365.20 inclusive of GST in the financial year 24-25 budget from sewer funds to undertake Abergeldy scope of works. 2, to allocate $208,148.80 inclusive of GST in financial year 25-26 budget from sewer funds to undertake further relining scope of works. 3, to accept tender number 5 of 2025 from Abergeldy Pipeline Renewal Proprietary Limited for sewer relining for a sum of $431,125.93 inclusive of GST. 4, delegate authority with the General Manager to approve variations to the contract to the value of $366,374, including the current contract and additional future works. And 5, delegate authority to the General Manager to conduct all relevant functions under a contract. Regard to item CR 2.6, proposed easement call option deed and amendments to original lease for council land held in Aberdeen. Council resolved 1, enter into an easement call option deed as lessor with Mazewood Proprietary Limited ACN 640912036 as lessee in respect of part lot 35 of DP 1184486. 2, enter into a section 88B instrument setting out the terms of the easement with Maysville Proprietary Limited ACN 640912036. 3, agree to the amendments to the original lease in respect to lots 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 and 56 of DP 752485 as itemised in Annexure A of the original lease. And 4, delegate authority to the General Manager to execute the lease and conduct all relevant functions under the lease. Regarding item CR 2.7, Hunter Warbirds expression of interest. Council 1, accept the Hunter Warbirds and Warbirds Over Scone event DOI proposals submitted by Paul Bennett and Ross Payne. 2, enter into a 5-year lease agreement under the terms and conditions outlined in the proposal. And 3, delegate authority to the General Manager to execute the lease agreement and conduct all relevant functions under that lease.
Okay, so thank you, General Manager. So I think that concludes our business. And on that basis, I'll close the meeting. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance. I really appreciate it.